everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 147. I am your host, Casey, and with me we have Slicer.
Hey, what's up?
Patient.
Hello, everyone.
And Kenchwa.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618. Como están, bitches?
Does that mean, like, hey?
It means, how are you all doing, bitches? The bitches is important.
Bien? Maybe?
Yes, it means you're
That
doing good.
Good?
I'm glad you're doing good.
Wait, I think that's
Yeah,
the same
not
in
well.
French and Spanish, and that's why I was very confused. It's hard to know. This is what you get for studying both at the same time. Ends up terribly. Yeah, so we're here. Guy was supposed to be here, don't know where he is. Zero's not here because we're recording on a Thursday, and he did stuff to his schedule that was poopy. So, also, we are not doing the video podcast, you might have noticed. We didn't do it last week, because everybody had to cancel at the last minute, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
which is fair enough, it happens sometimes. But this week we're also not doing it because I figured we should probably plan ahead a little bit and actually, for one, test out the software, make sure Google Hangouts works out. Because we've had problems with it before, mostly because Slice's connection was shite. In fairness, it's more likely to be my connection this time that's going to cause problems because I've seen the connection go to red there while I was doing the intro. So, you know, that's class.
Mine's been doing that occasionally too, so yeah.
My internet has been doing some annoying stuff recently. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the video podcast for episode 150. Gives us a couple weeks to plan ahead, and also it's still a significant number, sort of, and we can do the celebratory stuff there. Yay! Right?
Yeah.
So every 50th podcast from now on is going to be a video podcast.
That doesn't sound bad. Honestly, that's a year apart, so
Yeah. I mean, if we can actually get the infrastructure going properly so it doesn't give me an aneurysm every time we try and do it, then yeah, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, so I guess we're going to go on with what we're doing. So what have we been doing? You know what? I'll go first to get it out of the way. I have not had my health issues checked out because I am a bitch that doesn't want to go to his doctor. Because my doctor is shit, and he constantly dismisses any concerns I have without even checking into them. So, fuck that guy. But also because I'm a bitch because I don't want to know what is wrong with me. So, you know, that's a whole thing.
Tell me, Casey, have you ever seen the movie Home Alone?
Yes. Not sure where you're going with this, but yes.
Do you recall the talk that Kevin had with the frightening old man near the end of the movie?
Forgot that his name was Kevin, and I remember that there was a conversation. I think it was in a church, and it was Christmas, and there was carolers and stuff. That's about all I remember.
The man had a falling out with his son a long time ago. He was there in the church to watch his granddaughter sing in the choir. He was reluctant to talk to his son about reconciling the issues of several years ago because he was worried about how it would turn out. Kevin spoke to him by saying that he had had a similar problem with his basement and the furnace, scared of the furnace, and when he finally decided to face it, it turned out that it was scary but not as bad as he expected. That inspired the old man to try talking to his son, and the result was that they reconciled, and he was able to see his granddaughter again. So, the bottom line is, you may have something to be afraid of, but fear has a way of blowing things way out of proportion from what the reality actually is.
Okay. One, thanks. Two, I was not expecting to receive the gospel of Kevin McAllister there. I've never heard of Home Alone being told in the manner of a biblical parable, but it surprisingly worked better than I thought it would. Was a little concerned with where you were going with that, but, you know, it fucking worked out, so... Okay. I mean, it's a Christmas movie, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but still. Yeah, so, okay. Aside from that, my internet issues continue. Milder than they used to be, mostly because the ISP that I use has like a testing thing. The first time I used it, I was using the wireless internet, and about halfway through the test, it said, your stuff shut down, so, you know, plug that back in and we'll do the test again. I hadn't shut it down or anything, it just stopped. So, you know, I plugged it in through a wide connection. It's like, oh yeah, you actually have some serious problems. Give us some time and we'll see what's going on. So, they claim to have fixed it. I don't know how reliable that is, because I've still been having minor issues every now and again, but it's not as bad as it was, so that's a plus. But again, that might be down to me just having a wide connection instead of using the wireless, so... Oh well. It's something. It's better than it was. I have to see about getting a replacement router or something. And I've been playing a video game for a while. It's a bad video game, but, you know, I've for some reason put 30-something hours into it, so...
A what game?
A video game.
Video game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
On the television machine.
Yeah.
My apologies, misunderstood there.
Trying to think what you thought I said.
I didn't know what you said. I just misunderstood because of your accent, and I'm sorry about that.
It's not... I was putting it on, but okay, thank you for the apology. He's so earnest. I like it, but, you know. So, it's called Conception 2. You might have heard Zero talking about it a few weeks ago. It's a game where you are a dude that gets a mark on his hand that is like, you're a super dude that's got to fight monsters for reasons.
There we go. Okay. That was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I was saying, what video game was it, Casey?
Did everyone miss that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all just got dropped for like 5 seconds.
That's
Yeah.
strange. Okay, it's called Conception 2. It's a video game about you're a dude who gets a mark on his hand, and a lot of people have this mark, and it basically means you're a super guy or girl who has to fight monsters.
Hooray.
For 2 years, and then the mark will disappear and you won't be able to do it anymore. So, as part of fighting monsters, 2 people that have this mark can
Bone.
they take part in what's called classmating,
Bone.
which if they do that, then there's a chance of them making star children.
Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, the thing Zero was talking about a while back.
Yep, that's the one. And it turns out you are not only a superpowered dude that's got to fight monsters, you are the superpowered dude who fights monsters. Because you have this massive amount of energy. You basically Ichigo from Bleach. You have a superlatively large mass of what they call ether, which is super important for reasons. And because of that, every time he classmates with a girl, a star child will be born. Usually the rating is like 5% chance. So he he becomes, and by the way, you get to name your own character, so for the entirety of the game, I had everyone in the game referring to me as God's gift.
That's good.
I'm not gonna lie, every time I heard it, I was just sort of just lean back in the chair and, yep, I'm God's gift, alright, that's me. Yep. Savior of the universe and everything. It's I'm great, right? Yeah. Great guy. God's gift. Yeah. And yeah, so basically the main thrust of the gameplay, get it, because
Sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
that-
Boning.
is you classmate with several different girls and make star children that will have different abilities and can take on different classes and such, and you go into dungeons and fight monsters. I played 30 hours of this game.
Why?
Because he makes him feel strong.
95% of the gameplay is absolute crap. Like, it's kind of similar to the Persona fighting system, where it's like you attack monsters and they have different elements, and if you use the right elements it'll be a weakness and you can do more damage and such things, and vice versa. But you don't actually need to do any of that. I have played almost the entire game with it being on rush mode, so they will just automatically attack the monsters and they will die in like a turn or two, and then you move on. I have not had to do any strategy or anything. I just basically run into a monster, it dies, and I run into the next monster.
Is your basic attack basically neutral, or?
Yeah, it's neutral.
Okay, so yeah, you could do that. Are you even over leveled, or are the enemies just weak?
A bit of both.
Ah.
It's kind of strange, because I got a weapon like right at the beginning of the game, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's way better than the weapon I was using before. I guess this is like the first actual weapon, and the first one is like a training weapon or something. You know, it's the wood sword compared with the iron sword, for example.
Yeah.
No, it like multiplies the damage you do by like 50, and you will kill almost anything in one hit for most of the game from that point on. So it's I don't get how the balancing works in that at all. I don't know what's going on, but that's been the game so far. Just running through monsters like a fucking lawnmower. It's kind of boring, actually. I've been watching, well, rather listening to Critical Role again while I've been playing it. Because, you know, it's nice to have something entertaining going on while I'm playing this shitty video game.
But that's all your fault. You and playing this game.
Yeah. There's that 95% of the game, but there is also the other 5% of the game, which is, like, you know, it's a visual novel. You talk to girls and get them to like you by saying the right things and such things. It's fine. It's adequate. The interface is gorgeous. It looks kind of like a Persona game that was more tech-themed, so it looks really nice. The gameplay is terrible. The voice acting is kind of okay. Slicer will get this better than anyone else on the cast today, but one of the girls is basically Hinata from Naruto.
Okay.
Bust included.
Oh,
but
well,
she
all right.
also is voiced by Nanako from Persona 4.
Oh god, that's weird.
Yeah,
I'm so confused right now.
yeah. So for context, Nanako from Persona 4 is a 5-year-old girl who is the most adorable thing ever.
Ever.
And everyone loves her, and she's great, but in no way is she something I want to hear while I'm watching a girl with jiggle physics. It's not a fan of that. But, you know, as far as the writing goes, it's pretty decent. There is a rival character, and his arc is basically the Sasuke-Naruto rivalry told in about 3 scenes, so that's kind of nice that it's brief.
Is he also super powered, or like what is?
Yeah, he is.
How is he the rival?
He is basically the superpowered guy before you were the superpowered guy. Like, he was the best superpowered guy. He was the best disciple, as they're called, because it's a very religious theme without actually saying God at any point. He is the best one before you came around, but because you are strong enough to actually go into dungeons, he's kind of left in the lurch, because before you came around, they couldn't do that. They were basically defending from monsters that would escape the dungeons. And he was great at doing that, but he couldn't actually go in to stop them, whereas you can. So,
wouldn't he have lost his powers by now, or has it not been 2 years?
No, it's the whole thing's been going on for 20 years. And it's just been going on like that, because they couldn't do anything about the monsters at all. Cut them off at the source. Until you, because you're God's gift. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to be 100% straight. Like, me still playing this game is like 60% the decent writing and wanting to actually go through the whole plot, and 40% the fact that my character is called God's gift every 30 seconds. It's fucking nice. It's like a massive ego trip for the whole goddamn thing, and it's great. And every time someone decides they want to shorten it and call me GG instead of God's gift, I want to slap them and teach them better.
Do you know who I am?
Basically, yeah, that. So, yeah.
Christ. I almost want to... How much is this game?
I don't know. It was a PS Vita port. I can't actually pull up Steam right now and check.
Fair enough.
I don't think it was much. I think it was like £15 in my currency. It's like 20 in yours.
Probably 20 for me.
Yeah. It wasn't expensive, so...
Yeah, $20.
So if you want to waste your time on something other than idle games, as you tend to do, Slicer, then yeah, this would probably be a good shout.
I actually have found a game to play recently. It's part of my week, so...
Huh. That's surprising, because I've seen you play just a string of different idle games for the past year or two, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. I think that's pretty much my week. They have decided to stop the disability benefits that I usually get. So I have to reapply for the new scheme. I'm kind of expecting them to just shut me down and say, no, you're not getting disability benefits anymore. Because that's what the current government does right now, is...
Lovely.
Yeah. Thanks, Conservative Party. You're fucking great. You're...
Sorry to hear that, Casey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kind of sucks. I mean, I might get lucky, because I'm currently on the low rate for both categories. I think it's care and mobility are the two categories, and I'm on the low rate for both. But they don't have a low rate for the new scheme. And the standard rate would actually be more than I'm currently getting. So maybe if I get lucky, I don't know. I can hope. Stupid expensive sunglasses aren't going to pay for themselves.
Well, really? Is that really what you just said?
What?
Is he talking to you or someone in the background?
Don't know. Patience confusing sometimes.
I try.
Yeah. I need expensive sunglasses, because my eyes do not react well to sunlight, ever. So.
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
Quite fair, yes.
You
know, when you said expensive sunglasses, you made me think luxury sunglasses.
Oh,
not
no. No,
sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, they are consumer sunglasses, and they are expensive and quote-unquote stylish, but that's not why I buy them. It's because they are the best sunglasses that you could possibly get.
I see.
Yeah, so I guess that's me done. Slicer, we'll move on to you, because you said you've been playing a game, and I want to know what that is.
All right. Wait, crap. I actually made a list of what I was doing this week. It's on my laptop, which I just shut. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
First off, when I woke up this morning, I opened Skype, and I couldn't understand any of it. I don't know how, but the language of my Skype changed to Croatian. Yeah. So that took me like 5-10 minutes to actually fix.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. I don't touch any of the upper menus. Like, yeah.
And Croatian, of all things?
Yeah. I thought it was like Greek, but no, it's Croatian.
I don't even know what Croatian would look like.
Nor I.
I don't even know. All languages that aren't English kind of look the same, unless they're like, I mean, Asian languages are obviously different because katakana or whatever, but yeah. So, yeah, there's that. So the thing that kind of killed idle games for me recently, or at least briefly, was there's a game called Crush, and it's one of many idle games that I play. And they updated their game recently, and it was a pretty big one, added a bunch of new content, rebalanced a bunch of things, and it, for 1% of the users, wiped their file. And I was one of that 1%, unfortunately. And so I contacted their server support, whatever. They had a forum link with their support email. And within half an hour, I had, like... In the game, you can buy gems, and it's like $1 for 10 of them. I got 500 of them. It's like the support was super nice, and they were very quick about it, and I got a bunch of free stuff. So I guess being nice helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the audience sake, I'm not going to link Crush. I'm pretty sure it's a sexy game.
It's not.
Is it not?
It is a dating sim clicker game, kind of, but there's no nudity or anything in it.
Okay, because I just pulled up the wiki page for it, and it starts with, "Hey, hot stuff, are you looking for a fun and flirty game to kill some time and make you laugh out loud?"
Yeah, it is entirely tongue-in-cheek. It is pretty funny, actually. It's very well written. You get to date a bear. One of the girls is literally just a bear.
Is it a sexy bear?
I believe this is the part where we move on for the sake of sanity.
No.
No.
Eventually.
I want to hear about this sexy bear. What's going on, Slicer?
The last level you can unlock for that character, you buy a potion, and she turns into effectively a bear girl. Just she has the ears and the fuzzy claws and stuff, and that's it. Yeah. Her name is Bearverly. She makes bear puns a lot.
I like. So it's basically Girl Teddy from Persona 4.
Yeah. Like, all of the characters are references to something. There's a Rainbow Dash character. There is Hatsune Miku. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of would have been into it if it was like just a bear, just an actual bear but in a bikini. I think that'd have been hilarious, but okay.
Well, until you unlock the last level, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So when you go on dates, it's like the date at the beach is her in the water terrorizing other people at the beach.
I've changed my mind. I'm linking this game. I don't care what YouTube does to me.
It's a pretty fun game, honestly. It is slow, though. Honestly, it's very slow, unfortunately. They rebalance a bunch of stuff, but it is a bit unbalanced toward the pay to get farther kind of thing. Also, if you play it, don't use your gems on anything but time multiplication or something like that. It makes all the bars go faster, pretty much. Yeah. Classes are going well. I'm getting a hang of ceramics, which was a massive source of stress there for a while, because it's like, we moved on to the wheel, and I could not do anything. Like, I kept making crap. Yeah, so that was fun. Getting the hang of it now, though. It's actually a lot of fun.
Do you play the that song from Ghost when you do pottery? I feel like you should do that.
Which one?
I want to say Bohemian Rhapsody, but that's Queen, isn't it?
Do you mean the one that was in Ghostbusters?
No, the one that was in Ghost with the Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, I think it was. It was like a 90s film, and she has sex with the ghost while on a pottery wheel.
Oh, I thought that was a Ghostbusters scene. Okay.
It might be a Ghostbusters scene, but I think it'd be a parody of that scene.
Yeah. I might be thinking of the Family Guy, which spoofed that scene with a Ghostbusters reference. So...
Quite possibly.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well,
Which
thanks to
Ghost
Casey.
film are you talking about there, Casey? There are a lot of films named Ghost.
Patrick Swayze. Type in Patrick Swayze Ghost, you'll find the right one.
Well, there you go, I guess.
That's another thing I'm gonna have to link.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking millennials not understanding what Ghost is.
Mm-hmm.
Missing out
So,
on so many references,
yeah.
people. You
Thanks.
don't even know.
Thanks to Casey walking me through it, basically holding my hand through the process. I'm going to be upgrading my computer soon, so that's nice. Probably
Yay.
after the podcast, I'll be ordering my parts for it. So within like a month, I'll have a better computer. And then my family can have this computer after I cleaned it of all the filth. All of the filth. It's going to take for a long time.
Yeah. Also,
God,
he
I'm
says
not
holding
looking
his
forward to
hand
that.
through the process. I know basically nothing about building a computer. I sent him to a site that just lets you pick parts, and picked out parts that sounded very similar to the ones that I have.
You knew how to use the site and I didn't, so whatever. And finally, since I've stalled long enough and I'm out of things to talk about besides that, I started playing Wolfenstein: The New Order. That's the game.
Okay.
It is hilariously fun. It's not bad as a shooter, and the writing is very good.
I've heard
Also,
that it's very, very good, and actually...
I appreciate a main character that is just a meathead, and nobody expects them to be anything else.
Fair play.
Blazkowicz, or William J. Blazkowicz, I think his name is, he's just like Doom Guy, basically. He shoots and stabs the Nazis, and he's not very smart, so he relies on other people to do the thinking for him, and he just shoots things. It's nice.
Fair enough.
Although I do wish the game was a little more clear about sometimes you get weird objectives that are like, activate the mech, or something like that, and it's not... then you have to collect parts to activate the mech, and it doesn't tell you where the parts are. And they don't always glow or give any kind of indication that that's what you need. So you have some moments of like that where it's like you're running around this small area for 15 minutes. But aside from that, it's very fun. I'll probably get the New Blood after I finish the base game. Or something? Whatever the expansion was.
I didn't actually play any of the new Wolfenstein games, despite how many good things I've heard about them. So that's my loss.
It gets a recommendation for me. Honestly, it's very fun. If you like shooters. I don't know if that's your genre of choice. So
Generally no, but there are examples where I get into it.
yeah, and that's pretty much been my several weeks, actually. Oh, right. I was getting depressed there for a while. Like, actually depressed. So, yeah, I'm doing much better now. I'm getting more sleep, not inhaling caffeine, although I still have to have some because I go through withdrawals. So that's the thing. Yeah, feeling better.
Yay. Alright, Kenshi.
Alright, let's see. Well, for the last 2 weeks I've been working a lot. Even on my days off. Which has been super fun. Let's not dwell on that. No one cares about that. More importantly, I'm in the process of trying to get a house.
Yay.
Yeah.
By get a house, do you mean rent a house or buy a house?
Buy a house.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair play,
That's
Ken.
much harder to do.
Yeah, it's time to be adult and stuff.
Ugh.
Overrated. But, if that's what you're into.
Yeah, it is, but it needs to happen. You don't want to be that guy. Let's see. The process is more annoying than I could have possibly thought it was, and I thought it would be annoying in the first place. See, I gotta get a loan first,
Yep.
and apparently my credit was screwed from student loans even after I consolidated them. So I had to call my school and bitch them out about that. That only wasted like 2 days. but eventually it got done. So now I'm just waiting to get my loan approved so I can make a bid on a house, and then I'll probably have it. Hopefully.
Cool.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Is it too much of a loan, or do
No.
you think of paying it back for a while, or?
It's very, very difficult to get a loan financing for a house nowadays, because that was basically what, the recession was all about, is because people were trying to get credit and they couldn't afford it, and they would default on the mortgage or the loan. Yeah. So they're more recalcitrant about actually giving out mortgages and things like that nowadays.
Yep. So, yeah, that's happening. I haven't really done anything else, honestly, because my time has been completely swallowed up by this. I haven't even really done any writing, which makes me sad inside. But on the plus side, if I get this house, I can do what I want. And if I get this house, I'm putting a damn wrestling ring in the backyard because fuck the world, I can do what I want.
Yes, as long as it's on your property, then yes, you can. You might get the homeowners association bitching at you.
Oh, what are they going to do?
They have a surprising amount of power in your country.
Well, they don't have more power than Kenshi.
You'd be surprised.
They don't have more power than Kenshi.
Okay, I'm going to be very clear right now. You should read up on the homeowners association in your area and what powers they actually have, because my understanding is some of them can actually take your house.
Yeah, they have a disturbing amount of power sometimes.
Sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you, but that's the reality, so...
I'm a man with a simple dream. I just want a house with enough of a backyard to put a wrestling ring in it for reasons. Because that would be dope as fuck.
It would, but, the probable boring white bread fucking middle Americans are probably not going to think the same thing, so...
What if I built a structure around the ring? Like a cage.
I think they might have a bigger problem with that. They might think you're into some kinky shit, and, if you are, fine, but they'll want you to keep it indoors.
Well, the cage counts as indoors.
Okay.
If I put a roof on the cage.
I'm just going to wait for future episodes so you can tell me how this goes. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic, fascinating story that we're going to get.
Oh, you all know how the ring thing works out. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a thing. But other than that, I don't really have anything. I'm tired. I just got off work before we got on. I wasn't even supposed to go in today.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably got to go in tomorrow. So it's not a good time.
Yeah. That sucks.
If that happens, I will wind up working 13 straight days. It's magical.
That happens a lot to you.
Yeah, it does. But let's not dwell on that. Someone else go and cheer the world up.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, you have, interns or something now, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, eventually they get competent enough that they don't have to call you in every 30 seconds.
We'll see about that.
Man can dream about other things than having a wrestling ring in the back garden.
I mean, that's the only thing worth dreaming about.
Okay. Patient?
Am I coming through clearly?
Yes, for the most part.
I was just having connection problems a moment ago. Am I still coming through clearly? Because it's showing that I'm in the red and now it's in the orange, and forget
less.
it.
It's dipping a bit, but it's mostly fine.
Okay. Well, I don't matter much. I mean, I don't have much going on.
Okay, it is officially no longer okay. Patient?
Oh man.
Oh dear. That's unfortunate timing. He's trying to say things, I think.
He totally was trying to say things.
He says, ugh. He says typing things, and we can hear him typing, so I think it might be better.
Testing. Am I coming through clearly now?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfectly clear. 5x5, if you like.
Well, I didn't have much to say anyway. The week has been fine for me. Not really anything out of the ordinary. College is going all right. No monetary problems, no outside difficulties, and well, with General Conference coming up this weekend, I've got a lot to look forward to.
That's good.
So yeah.
So watch anything, see anything, play anything, read anything?
Well, I've been working on Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix for a little while. I got to the final battle with Xemnas last night, but I'm trying to go for the Never Used to Continue trophy, so have to beat them all in one go, not running out of health at all. And I made it to the final stage, but I lost when I was, 3 health bars away from dealing the final blow.
I'd thought, isn't it like, there's a continue option and a load game option when you die? Can you just load and...
Yes, I select the load game option every time.
Oh, right, so it's like if you continue, you can skip some bits of the boss fight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You start at the fight you lost at. You start at the beginning of it, usually.
Oh, right, okay. I see what you mean now. Okay.
But
Also,
some of the other fights...
Are you against power leveling? Because that will beat that game for you. Yeah.
I'm against making it too easy. I mean, I've already experienced some bosses that I remembered being difficult as being painfully easy, and I've already experienced some bosses I thought were easy being harder than I remembered, but I suppose I just don't want to have any more experiences of the boss being easier than I remember.
Yeah, challenge is
fair.
fun. Yeah.
And the challenge is what really makes it fun for me.
Yeah.
So I'm at level 60-ish, mid to high 60s, and I've got the ultimate weapon, but I'm just still trying to make it so that I can finally cross that threshold, beat the game, so that I can actually use the continue option for the after game, where I'm actually going to need it a lot more.
Are you on proud mode?
Critical mode, the one above proud.
Okay, that explains the level then. I was going to say, I beat that game at level 41, I think. So, yeah, you're way above what I was. Then again, I never tried proud or critical, so...
I'm the 100% type, so seeing as how critical mode has the highest chance of unlocking the secret ending, not that I don't already know what it is, just going for what I can.
That's fair.
I need to go back to playing that game. I still haven't played it since I got to Hollow Bastion, I want to say. The first time, so...
Is that in Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 2?
2.
Then wow, that's very, very early in the game.
Yeah, it's literally just after the tutorial, so yeah.
Did you get all of the treasure chests at the mysterious tower in Twilight Town?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have a chance to go back there until the very end of the game.
Yeah, well, they're not actually particularly amazing items, but yeah, it's fine. I got them all. I also did the thing where you get, I think it's 2,000 money to get the extra AP.
Nice, I did that as well.
It took an annoyingly long time. It was not fun.
Were you doing poster duty?
Yes.
I thought so. That's the only one that gives you 100 money instead of 50. It's a lot faster doing that one.
Yeah, you can run through it in about a minute, and it's the load times that make the other methods slower, so... But yeah, that was annoying. That was...
Yeah,
It doesn't open very, very strongly, Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean... Story-wise, yes. Gameplay-wise, not so much.
Well, I'll admit that one was tedious. The whole getting up all the way up to 2,000 money, I always found that tedious. But I didn't mind the rest of the story, and I really don't get the hatred towards it. Maybe it's just that I tend to have less unsatisfaction for those things in general.
It's probably the people wanting to replay it. I mean, like I say, it's very slow, and there's not actually that much gameplay to it.
Fair enough. So the fight with the Twilight Thorn was interesting. You have to admit that one.
That's the giant one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It gives you a good view of the boss fight mechanics where you can do the triangle thing and just do a bunch of damage or using it to dodge attacks. That was pretty cool. It makes for a very visually interesting fight. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been up to. Well, aside from the obvious, more time riding with the cross brain. This next chapter is going to be big.
Yeah, it makes sense. Based on events, yep. Alright, so, next up on the docket is Random A. Which reminds me I need to pull up the website for when we do the next one. So, the Random A for this week was Code Geass. Okay, you know what? In absolute fairness, I am going to start calling it Code Geass, because it is a Gee rather than a guy. So, it's Code Geass.
The guy isn't here. I'm so sorry, that was terrible.
I almost made that joke myself, so don't apologize. Okay, so Code Geass, I'm actually gonna have to get used to calling it that. So, the plot of Code Geass is basically, I'm actually going to go into the way back plot of Code Geass and actually explain the political situation that's going on. Basically,
Oh shit.
France beats Britain soundly in some war, probably the Napoleonic Wars or something like that. They basically force Britain out of Britain, and they end up going to the colonies. As such, the...
Call it America, goddamn you, it's America.
Not anymore, it's Britannia now. So that is basically the history plot. Britain becomes Britannia, takes over the entire United States and probably Canada. And go for a social Darwinism type political and social structure. And then decide they want to take over the entire world and basically do for most of it. Europe is still separate and the Euro universe, so that's a subtle nod to reality. There is the Chinese Federation, and at the time of, I believe, canon starting, there is Japan that's just sort of sitting there that is in a strong political position because it has a resource called Securidite, which is like a power source kind of thing. And at some point during this whole thing, part of the royal family, one of the empresses to the emperor, because social Darwinism, he is at the top of the food chain, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants, so he has like 20 empresses.
I think it's actually more than that.
Yeah, probably. There's a long list of imperial princesses and princesses, so yeah, probably more than that. But his favorite one gets gunned down, and her son, Prince Lelouch, sees it, as does his sister Nunnally. His sister gets crippled and blinded, his mum dies, and nobody seems to give a shit. So he goes up to the Emperor while full court is in session and says, "What the fuck are you gonna do? Do something. My mum's dead, you dickhead." Basically.
Valid argument, but something you probably don't want to say in front of everyone.
Yeah, challenging the Emperor's power while full court is in session is probably a bad idea. As it turns out, it was, because he gets not disinherited, but basically temporarily banished to Japan as a political prisoner, more or less. And then Britannia invades Japan. Takes it over. Everyone assumes the prince and princess are dead. And he is living a secret life as just a regular academy student in the now Area 11 after Britannia took it over. So, for a kind of mediocre show, it has a surprisingly deep backstory.
It does, actually. I had forgotten it had that much lore behind it.
Yup, they really thought it through. So, you know, for fanfiction's sake, that's actually a lot of stuff to go on, so, you know, they can actually make good stories from this, as I said, mediocre one. Anyway, so he's pretending to be an academy student. He is very good at chess. There is a lot of chess motifs in this series. And he stumbles across some Japanese rebels trying to do a thing. And gets caught up in their mischief. Let's call it mischief. Finds a canister of something in the back of a truck that has crashed. The truck drives off with him in it. And he gets dragged along for the ride while they're trying to evade authorities. Then mechs get involved, because it's that kind of show, called Nightmare Frames. That's night with a K, because it's a pun. Get it?
Because
They're basically Gundams.
Because the knights, because it's British. And everyone says, "Yes, my lord," in Japanese accents, and it's kind of awkward. Anyway, so the rebels stole a shitty, old-fashioned Nightmare Frame and use it to fight off the pursuers, doing quite well despite not really being trained on it and being an inferior model. And the truck basically crashes again. The driver does a suicide bomb thing. Lelouch is kind of left in the lurch just with this gas canister, as he assumes, and gets run across by a Royal Guard patrol, which includes his friend, who is a Japanese person, or rather honorary Britannian. There is a lot of fucking lore in this series, again, for a mediocre show. So he gets run across by this honorary Britannian named Suzaku, who was the son of the former Prime Minister of Japan. I remember a lot of this show, I'm just realizing.
It must have left its impression.
It did. I enjoyed it at the time. Looking back on it, it was, as I keep saying, mediocre. But anyway. So Suzaku runs across him. He's like, "Hey, you're still alive. I had no idea." "You're still alive too. I had no idea," kind of conversation. And then the gas canister opens and everyone freaks out. And a girl falls out of it.
You missed the part where Suzaku says hello by a spin kick.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of those.
Spinzaku was born.
Mm-hmm. He does a lot of those. It's basically his opening move in anything, including conversations.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, so the canister opens. Green-haired girl falls out. Is she dead? I don't know. What's going on here? Don't know. The rest of the Royal Guard Patrol show up and basically say, "You're not supposed to be here. You weren't supposed to know about this, so we're going to fucking shoot you." And Suzaku says, "No, don't do that," and they shoot him too. So Suzaku's seemingly dead. Lelouch is standing in front of the green-haired girl, and it's basically like, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die." Green-haired girl grabs him, and psychic whammy jammies happens, and says something along the lines of, "I can offer you power if you want to survive, and just do me a solid later, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he says, yes, I accept your contract, and does some dramatic flourishes with his arms. And then he has the superpower to order people to do things once. So he can give each individual person one order per person.
And that's ongoing, by the way. He orders a girl to write an X on the wall every day, and she's still doing it like a year later.
Yeah, he tests out his powers early on in the story. First thing he orders the Royal Guard Patrol to do, by the way, is die. And they all smile, grin creepily widely, and shout, yes, your highness, and blow their brains out. It's an interesting scene.
Yeah, it was a very character-setting moment.
And then Lelouch states his intent to use this power to obliterate Britannia, echoing his earlier statement to do the same thing while he was walking through a field of bodies.
And that's the point where I realized that he had the same voice actor as Light Yagami. Big surprise.
I didn't know that, actually.
Does he? Because his voice actor is Johnny Young Bosch. I know he's also the voice of Ichigo. I didn't know he was the new voice of Light. I have to double check that.
Google Johnny Young Bosch.
IMDb. Death Note. I'm gonna assume that's the right one. It's from 2006. Looks like it. That was Brad Swale, so it was not the same voice actor.
My mistake. You can't blame me for drawing the association, though.
Then,
No.
yeah, it tries so hard to be Death Note for the rest of the series. It does not manage it. Ever.
Mostly because it's a flawed system to begin with. The character should not be so tactical genius that they can basically see the future. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he basically wins everything unless something stupid happens. Like, the first major battle, he basically takes control of the rebels that, got him involved in the mess, and gets them to beat the entire Royal Guards. Just all of them. Until their secret super weapon shows up and turns the tables immediately. Because it's a secret super weapon that's stronger than every unit that they don't, in fact, have available at the time. So...
Yep, that's how they work in that kind of series, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a new thing, so it gets to own everything for like an episode and a half.
It does it for longer than that, actually, but yeah. Oh, and by the way, the super weapon is piloted by Suzaku because rivals, I guess.
Hey, one time, right now.
I can hear that, by the way. Whoever's, I don't know, either watching TV or playing possibly Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna say I can totally hear that. So can the audience. I'm gonna assume that's Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Code Geass, and as I said, it's kind of mediocre. It tries to be Death Note, it fails. What does everybody else have to say about it? Except for Kenshi, because he sucks and didn't watch it.
Screw you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt Mr. I Watch It Every Time's feelings? Is that
Yes.
what just happened right now?
Yes, you did. It's sensitive.
Unnecessary rudeness.
Indeed.
Yeah, Kenshi.
Hypocrisy. Not
Patience,
good,
do you wanna-
Casey.
do
Not
you wanna-
good.
Take it away, what do you think?
Well, I only saw the pilot episode, so you told me a lot more of the series than what I had first experienced. Looks pretty interesting, and I must admit, it's rather discouraging the way that you've painted a disappointing picture for the future of the series. I was looking forward to finding out what was going to happen next.
Well, I do talk down about it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he talks that about most things.
I do.
He doesn't.
Yeah, it's not the best thing in the world. Obviously, like I say, it tries to be Death Note, it fails. That doesn't mean it's entirely unsuccessful in being Death Note-like. Like, they put a lot of effort into setting up the plans and what Lelouch is going to do and how he's manipulating people and what he's using his powers to do to make his plans work. The art style is very nice. The animation is very nice. Some of the fights can be a bit but, you know, they, like Slicer pointed out, they do rely on Spinzaku a lot. But it's definitely entertaining enough to keep attention, and I'm going to bring up the thing that I tend to focus most on, because this is the fucking podcast, is what it's for. It sets up a good universe for people to write in, basically. I have read a lot of Code Geass fanfiction, so there's a lot of good stuff there too. It's worth looking at, absolutely.
I do like the first season. They keep that you can basically see the future thing.
Seriously?
I can't make it stop. I can't. I'm trying.
Right. They keep that to a minimum, it seems. It's only really in Season 2 that they really ramp that up and really rely on the Deus Ex Machina kind of thing.
Yeah, they get a lot more into the weird metaphysical stuff in Season 2 that really kills it at that point. But before that, in just Season 1, it's actually pretty consistently decent.
Mm-hmm. I like Season 1. It was kind of like Death Note, actually, in that the first season was good, and then they just, like, they overcomplicated it, and they went into detail that didn't need to be gone into, almost. Or maybe it's just a series like that ending, and they didn't have an ending in place.
Yeah, they hadn't thought that far ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh. I just want to say again, I really like the art style. It's very strange. I know the studio does that a lot. I don't know what the studio is called. I don't know any other shows that they've done, but
Bones, I think, does that one.
Is that what it is? The Noodle People, I think it's called on Game of Tropes.
I think so.
It's very distinctive, and I appreciate that. It doesn't look like a lot of other shows. Also very colorful, which I like. I like rainbows. Just wanted people to know that. Anyone got anything else to say about it before we move on and roll for another one?
I don't think so. That was about all I had to say on it.
Patient?
No, I don't have anything more to add.
Okay.
All right, let's fire up this magical bitch-ass number generator. What you got?
You tell me.
Number 2.
Number 2A. So, we have 136 and... Oh, a lot more than 136. Okay, bear with me. Bam.
A lot more. Okay. So the reason those weird-ass noises were happening was I was playing MLB The Show. And in this game, you can mute your TV, but there's still
255.
Like, oh, you counted them?
There's still what?
There's still, like, the controller. The controller still works. So, like...
Wait, what system is it on?
PlayStation 4. Your manager's voice comes out of the controller.
Oh. Okay. I wasn't aware that was a thing.
It is a thing. I forgot it was a thing and didn't turn it off before I started a game, so now I can't turn it off.
I
The
get
game's
254.
Okay, 254.
Yep, it is an even number, so it's 254.
Well, you're gonna hate me because it's 169.
Okay, I can manage that. 169, you said?
Yep.
Bear with me, I need to work out where I'm looking at.
Oh man, Afro Samurai's in here.
Equals 33, so it's 33 on the second page.
The last time we had an A, I think it was that Amagi Brilliant Park thing. 'Cause it's been a while.
That was a pretty good show, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I think I actually watched all of that one.
I think I watched like 12 episodes of it. I don't know why I stopped.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh dear.
That doesn't sound promising.
What do we got?
I believe it is Antique Bakery.
What?
Oh,
What?
okay.
I'm not sure I'm gonna enjoy this, but it's a thing.
Yep, it is a 12-episode series, so it's a series. It is a shoujo series, so outside of our comfort zones again. One day, Tachibana, owner of a cake shop, Antique, meets genius patissier, Ono. He is Tachibana's former classmate who used to get spurned by him. Tachibana is relieved to know that Ono doesn't remember him, and so Tachibana invites him as a patissier. I'm constantly going to get that word wrong. At his cake shop. However, Ono has come out of the closet and makes numerous advances to Tachibana. Oh dear.
Great.
We're watching a yaoi anime.
So, anyone gonna use that veto?
I mean, we're burning through these vetoes.
We are.
Yeah, but we just got 2 yaoi anime in a row, effectively. So,
Yeah, well, not in a row, but we did watch Free very recently. And that was a good one. This one does not look like a good one.
I'm gonna flip a coin. If it comes up heads, I'm using my veto. If it comes up tails, we're gonna fucking ride this out.
all
I'm
right,
going to
fair
do the
enough.
same, just to double our chances.
Unless someone else wants to use theirs. All right. I got a quarter.
Okay.
Big. It's not
How
gonna
much
flip
you want to
it.
bet it lands on its side?
It's not going to. It's gonna land on my hand. I'm gonna slap it down on the back of my hand.
So what was it again, Ken? Heads?
Heads. Heads. It gets vetoed. Tails. We ride this shit out.
Okay.
Heads.
Okay. So that is Ken's veto and Slice's veto, both done.
Just for funsies, what did yours land on?
I didn't flip mine. I was going to save my veto just in case.
Oh.
Well, it's not like you would both be using it. I mean, one of you
Yeah.
would do it. So,
Yeah, and I wanted it to be Kenchi's.
fair enough.
All right, so number generator again. What you got for Kenshi? 124.
Do we roll the same letter, or is it just reroll completely?
I think it's complete reroll.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, I said complete reroll one time. You didn't want to do it, but if you want to do complete reroll, we can.
We get one of them a year, so I feel like it should be a complete reset.
I agree.
Okay, we'll go with a complete reset. So it's kind of unanimous, except for me.
All right then. So starting
And even
over
so,
again.
I'm kind of with it in this one. So yeah, 26.
11. You just want to be a complete reroll, so there's no chance it comes up again.
Jay?
Well, a lesser
Yep.
chance.
It's J. It's very short, one page. Oh god, Jackie Chan.
50.
Oh yeah,
All
it was
right,
50,
then.
wasn't
31.
31. 31 is Joukamachi no Dandelion. It's a slice of life. Yeah, it's a girl's slice of life show.
Alright, fine. We re-rolled, so we gotta do it.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
I don't hate the
sounding,
idea of
just
doing this enough that I
boring.
want to veto. So unless Patient feels really strongly about not doing this one.
I
So-
don't even know what slice of life means.
It means it's basically just a very... It's like a sitcom. It's an anime sitcom.
Not particularly opposed to it.
Okay.
Alright then, that's what we're going with.
The Sakurada family is a pretty ordinary family of 11 people. That is not a pretty ordinary family. Living in a solitary house. That is very not ordinary. That's 11 people. Except that their father is the king. Okay, maybe they need to rewrite that first sentence a little bit. And each of the children has special powers. Seriously, what does ordinary mean to the person writing this summary?
Anime terms of ordinary, of course.
Seems like
Yeah,
it.
the fucking straw hats are ordinary. Also, to ensure their safety and to help citizens decide the next king, the house is observed by more than 200 security cameras. So it's Big Brother Family Edition. Royal Family Edition.
I'm honestly intrigued, actually.
Actually, no. This is the Osborne's Royal Family Edition. Okay.
My interest has been piqued. I will give this a shot now. This seems odd.
Yeah. It's a concept I've not heard before, except for the aforementioned Osbornes. Also, I don't think the Osbornes had anything to do with choosing the next Aussie. And if it did, I don't think there would be any winners in that fucking... Anyway.
Fuck you, Ozzy's awesome.
He is. That's why fucking kids wouldn't fucking get the title.
Oh, out of them. Okay, yeah, no, they suck. Those kids are horrible.
Yeah,
Everyone's kids are horrible.
pretty much.
Why does every
Ironically,
famous
I think
person...
the oldest one that wasn't actually on the show was actually decent, but that's pretty much why she wasn't on the show. So
Why does everyone famous have suck-ass kids?
Because
they're
they don't
famous
have
and
time to be proper parents, I guess. I assume.
that, and it makes for a very strange environment to grow up in. Makes you kind of whooped.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the random for this week. How long have we been going? Probably about an
That's
hour and
it.
change.
Yeah.
Alright. So, that's the anime for this week. If you want to watch it with us, feel free. I don't know, it seems interesting enough. We've gotten more interesting anime from less of a concept.
This is true.
We've also had less from better concepts, so, you know.
Yeah, that's also true.
Alright, so, first topic of this episode, technically, not really, I should probably stop saying that, is Trolls.
You mean like the little doll thingies with the hair?
No, I mean the ones that like bridges a lot. Kind of creepily, in fact.
You gotta pay the troll toll. Yeah.
I feel like it's from something, but I can't think of what it is.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
You don't get very serious. That,
I don't watch Always Sunny.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Never mind.
I thought that it was a reference to that old fairy tale, the Three Billy Goats gruff, wasn't it?
That's probably what they were referencing in Always Sunny, yeah. Just at a guess. No, seriously. Trolls, internet trolls. They suck. The bastards.
Yeah.
if you want a quick summation. Basically, they're people that go around, usually the internet, because doing it in real person would probably get fucking punched, just to piss people off, basically. They've been around for a long time, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they would frequent message boards and have, or espouse terrible opinions and just pretend to be terrible people to get a rise out of other people. Yeah, it's a very strange pastime, but I guess it has a bit of a power trip thing going on that, hey, I affected this person's life negatively, but I did.
Do you guys watch South Park? Are you up to date on it?
No,
Yes, I
I'm
am.
not up to date. I watched like the first 10, 15 seasons or something.
Oh,
I
okay.
know what's happening, Slicer.
Yeah, since it's so recent, I don't want to spoil it since it's kind of a big thing in the first episode of the season. One of the characters is actually a troll, and it really breaks down the motivation behind it, sort of. Yeah, it's a very entertaining sort of thing.
Is it Cartman?
We're not going to tell you that.
Yeah,
It's
we're not.
Cartman. Of course it's Cartman.
Okay. Anyway.
Cartman is basically a real life troll. Like, he is the type of person that has the brass ones to actually try and do it in real life and succeeds most of the time.
I'm so happy you think that. I feel good right now.
Mm.
Okay. I apparently need to watch that episode of South Park, but...
There's
Yeah, anyway, you were
2,
saying.
3 as of yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, the thing the South Park is doing now, they're doing story arcs every season.
Awesome. I
And they're-
should start watching South Park again.
Yeah, that's really good. It's really been good. Last few seasons have been amazing.
I do appreciate that kind of format a lot more than the episodic stuff they were doing before.
Mm-hmm. Trolls.
Yes.
Just to remind you. What were you saying, Slicer?
And it's an interesting look at what the mindset of a troll or just somebody who likes doing that. And how it affects them and the people around them and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you're curious about that kind of thing, then definitely watch those first 2 episodes of season 20, I think, of South Park.
Yeah, it's
Something
season
like
20.
that. Show's been going on for a long time. Anyway,
Of course, there's also the other way of using the term, which isn't fully accurate. Just when someone does perform some sort of action just to get a reaction out of someone, but not with any sort of malicious intent, the term troll is often used for them as well. We of the cross brain are often quote-unquote victims to, and my voice is fading out again, isn't it?
no, you're fine.
No, you're good.
Okay, just a display error then. Better than a vocal error. Anyway, like I was saying, the cross brain as a whole is rather vulnerable to this, with our penchant for cliffhangers and plot twists and the fast updates. We did that one time when Hornet got back from his trip.
Oh yeah, and you were like, hey, we did an update. Oh, by the way, we're going to do another one in 2 days. Well, you didn't actually say that, but you just did another update in like 2 days.
It was basically, we published it one day, then we published another one 24 hours later, and then we published the third one 2 hours after that.
Wow.
Yeah, basically Zom and I were working overtime on the rough drafts so that as soon as Hornet got back, we could get to publishing the chapters. To tell you the truth, it was my idea to publish them in quick succession.
Yeah. That does seem like mislabeling to call that trolling, though.
Yeah.
I mean, trolling is usually a negative thing.
I believe that the trope is called the gadfly or something. Whatever that means.
It's a reference to an author, I believe.
Is it the Godfrey?
Gadfly is a fly that bites livestock, especially a horsefly, warblefly, or a botfly. Okay.
All right.
Oh, a person who annoys or criticizes others in order to provoke them into action.
Okay, that's not entirely accurate either. For
No.
cross and downbite, that's accurate, but for the cross brain...
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, there is a trope called trolling creator, which basically describes what we do, but it doesn't... It's not exactly the...
most fitting of terms.
Yeah.
No, but...
It's basically just saying something and doing something else to mess with people.
Basically just doing it for your own amusement.
Hmm.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's say, just to put a pin in it and completely remove it from the conversation, regular trolls on the internet and comments and fucking reviews, for example, are, terrible thing. You should just stop it, because it's just not... No one likes you. Everyone thinks you're a disgusting human being. So probably stop it. Okay? Okay. But, saying things that are trolling when they're not really in a negative way, but, oh, you're trolling us. Yeah, in a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tongue-in-cheek kind of way. Yeah, that's not as negative. I mean... I can't say a particular example where I've done something like that, like done something unexpected to mess with the audience for things that I'm reading, or doing things like that on the channel. I don't think I've done. Oh, maybe in like the fucking Let's Plays. I've probably done that a few times. Probably.
I
Not that
mean,
it's easy to remember.
does it count that you did it to Zero in the last episode of Pokemon Let's Play?
Oh yeah, that absolutely fucking counts. Like trolling people, so you can mind some comedy of it. That is a thing that exists and happens, and it's a very good thing and a good source of comedy a lot of the time. Yeah, absolutely.
You want to tell them what happened for the sake of those who uninitiated?
Okay, so for the people that didn't watch the fucking Pokemon Let's Play, which I understand is 130 episodes, but you might want to go back and watch maybe the last two, because it's a nice dramatic finish.
I mean, in most of the episodes, there was some gold in there. Like,
yeah, there was. Yeah. So I said, I still kind of don't forgive you for turning the main character into a porn star, just by saying porn over and over again.
Was that me?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it
you.
was
That
you.
sounds like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime we brought up going to the movie studio, you kept saying in porn.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so in the last two episodes, basically our entire party wiped. We lost all of our Pokemon, and we're like, okay, all we've got left is this one coughing called Growlithe. That's another example of me trolling Kenshi, because Growlithe is his favorite Pokemon. We had a coughing that had all fire moves on it and explosion, because they seemed the most Growlithe-like moves. And we decided, okay, to finish off the run, let's go catch that Riolu that Zero has basically been begging us and pestering us to go catch for the entire run. And there's one area you can catch it, and it's super rare to find it.
Like, we've been trying the whole damn playthrough to catch this damn. Every time we had, like, catches, Zero would
say,
demand...
let's go back to the fucking ranch and catch a Riolu. And every time we did it, we'd end up catching something else. It was that rare, and there's enough Pokemon that you can just keep doing that over and over again. And for the last episode, we're like, okay, let's go back and catch a Riolu so Zero can be happy and finish this with a smile on his face. So we go back, having to basically run all the way back from Black City to Philosophy Ranch, because we got rid of all our flying Pokemon without thinking about it. So we had to run. And we finally get back there after like 4 or 5 tries. We actually find a Riolu. And I immediately use Explosion and just kill both of them.
Okay, good. I was hoping that's how the story would end. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an asshole, but that's perfect.
It was so good.
Like, and we spent like the entire... It was like, I swear it was like 10 minutes running in the grass, going through different Pokemon, waiting for this Riolu, and we're just talking shit on Zero the whole time.
Yep. Like previously, like every time it would take ages. We would spend a good 10, 20 minutes just running back and forth in this one patch of grass that happens to be shaped like a penis. Seriously, go back and watch the fucking Let's Play. It's great. Anyway, we'd just run back and forth, and eventually we'd catch something else. And we... Okay, we're not using our second catch on this. Let's go fucking find something else. Let's catch something cool like a dragon. Enough of this Riolu shit. And that one time, we get it in like 4 times. 4 Pokemon show up, and the 5th one is Riolu. And it's like, okay, boom. That's it. It's done. Fucking great.
I mean, really, that was the only way that story could have ended. What were we going to do with it? What were we going to do with the Riolu that we caught? Nothing. The game was over.
Good times. Kind of want to go back and watch all of it again. I did go back and watch the last 2 episodes again when we talked about it last time. That was so good. So good. Anyway. So yeah, trolling for comedy, absolutely. Great thing. Good fun.
It makes good content.
As long as it's not like mean-spirited.
If it's a thing where you can all laugh together.
Yeah.
Just don't be a jerk. Like...
Yeah. I mean, when we did it, I think Zero knew exactly where this was going when we did that to him. Because even when it happened, you could hear the smile in his voice as he was screaming, "No!" Good times. So yeah, trolling for comedy, it's fun. Good time. Just don't be too much of a dick about it. Patience has agreed.
Yes, he agrees.
I don't know why he's not talking, but, you know, whatever.
It's hard to find that line for a lot of people, though. Like, the how far is too far for trolling. It's showmanship trolling, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah, for example, someone typing in the chat for an audio podcast. That's an example of that. Yep. For example.
I was going to say maybe it's his connection, but no, I think it's actually, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, is that the end of that topic then?
I think so, unless anyone's got anything to say at the last minute.
I think we're good on it.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Slice is playing his idle game again.
Yeah, pretty much.
I fucking knew it. Anyway, Chekhov's gift is the next topic. So, this is when a character gets something, and that's a thing that turns out to be necessary down the line, and super important, and it saves the day or something like that.
Usually exactly what they need with no explainable reason why, or no previous hint even that it was going to be important.
Zero's here.
He is. I don't know what he's typing, but...
Yes,
we are. Are you guys still doing the podcast?
I'm glad he asked instead of just jumping in this time.
Sorry, I need to do my Zero. Are you guys still doing the podcast?
Is that your Zero? It's not great.
Yeah. No, that's not great.
That's Grumpy Zero.
Well, I could try and do his excited voice, but that's kind of high-pitched and cracky, and I don't think I could manage that. Doom, 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 doom. Guess not. Okay. I was waiting for Zero to join because Patient said, "Hey, join it."
Yeah. And
Zero's sleeping, and he says...
Nothing.
What are you saying, Zero? We need to know.
I must retreat from the public eye, then.
Is he going to go in the bathroom or something?
Oh. Okay.
I guess he must be in between classes or something.
Probably. Something like
Probably.
that. Alright. So Chekhov's gift. Usually not a great trope. At least in the way that Slicer described it as being completely without explanation or anything like that.
I'm viewing it in the most negative light as a tool for a lazy writer to get themselves out of a corner they've written themselves into. But it can very easily be a long-term thing the author purposely and intentionally included, but didn't talk about it, so it would be a surprise.
You see, here's the thing. I do that sometimes just as a backup. like in case I can't think of anything better, I can go back on this thing that I set up kind of and alluded to kind of.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Hi.
Yeah, Zero's here.
And his microphone is muted again.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone laugh at Zero for that thing about the whole blowing up his Riolu thing.
I would kill Riolu in front of your face with a growl if it was a coughing.
That's terrible. It really
You
is.
guys-
What were you gonna name that Riolu, Zero? Huh?
Oh no. We were
We
gonna
could-
decide my poll, but if I got it, I would name something cool like Goku.
Well, you can put that on his tombstone because he's dead.
I swear,
Next
one
to
of
Growlithe.
the Pokemon hacks I was looking at had you could choose your starter as the Riolu. Oh.
I assume you're on your phone because you sound not great.
Yes, I'm on my phone. I'm just popping in to say hey.
Everybody say hey, Zero.
Hey.
Easier.
Patient is very excited that you're here, Zero.
Oh wow, thank you so much, Patient. I'm so glad.
Okay. So, what were we talking about? Chekhov's gift?
Yeah. It's nice to have as a backup sometimes. Like, I don't like using it very much.
Like, okay, the one really big example I can think of, and I brought this up when Slicer brought up the topic, was fucking Dumbledore at the end of, not the end of, actually, yeah, I think the end of the 6th book, where he gives Harry, like, 3 things.
It was the start of the 7th book, actually.
Same difference. They were both terrible, so yeah, and it turns out that one of them is the Resurrection Stone, so one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. Yeah, that's probably pretty important that he have that. One is a book about the Deathly Hallows, which, yeah, that's also probably pretty important. I mean, you could have just said, hey, you have the 3 Deathly Hallows, or at least 2 of them, so that's, you know, this is what they are, and it's probably a good thing to keep them on you, just by the way. That probably would have been easier, and, you know.
Yeah.
Shall I rationalize it, or shall I let you keep going?
You can rationalize it if you like.
He left the things to them in his will and testament, which he knew the ministry was going to go over with a fine-toothed comb, and if they found out about it, what would they have done? Especially with how many moles Voldemort had in the ministry at the time.
Normally, I
Fair
would
play.
agree with that, but this is a universe where magic exists, and you can just seal an envelope. Blood wards are a thing, like canon-wise, not just a fanon thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Oh well. And the third thing was a thing that turns lights on and off.
Deluminator.
Which
I bet if
pretty
you
much
like use
wasn't
that
useful.
thing, like just use that thing a lot, you could create some pretty sweet parties and strobe
Yeah.
lights.
It'd be pretty cool as a thing that's pretty cool, so that's nice of him. I like to think that's what he actually left it to them for, just have fucking bitchin' party.
Raves.
Yeah, and, you know, it just happened to be useful because Ron was a dickhead, and he didn't actually predict that. Because if he predicted that Ron was going to be a dickhead, then that just makes me kind of sad. Just in general.
I mean, he's been their headmaster for like 5 years, and Harry's apparently important to know Harry's friends and their temperament, maybe. So maybe he was aware. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
The way they rationalized that, it wasn't that Dumbledore knew that he was going to leave. It was that Dumbledore knew that he was going to want to come back.
Okay, but that kind of is predicated on him leaving in the first place. That's kind of a glass half empty, glass half full kind of argument, really. But either one means he has to be a dickhead first.
I just get the feeling Casey doesn't like redheads.
I love redheads. I love lady redheads. male redheads, I could take or leave.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they say you hate the things about characters that you hate about yourself. So the fact that Ron's kind of a dickhead and has a bit of an anger problem, I don't actually have much of an anger problem. At least I don't do temper tantrums.
You're one of the calmest people I've ever met.
Okay. I do temper tantrums, but they are absolutely fucking put on, okay?
Who's one of the calmest people you've ever met?
Sarcasm. It's always you.
Because
Okay.
your audio fucked up and that hum of approval or whatever just lasted like 15 seconds. It completely ruins the effect of it. Still, I enjoyed that.
Okay. Yeah, so there are examples where it goes a little bit too far in what is predicted that's needed. Like, that's what I would call that Deluminator thing. Is that, yeah, that's like a Batman Gambit plus like 20.
Here's a query for you, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
To give an example, I suppose this is more shameless self-promotion, but let it be remembered that I'm a fan first, a co-writer second. I wasn't part of it from the beginning. What do you think would be a breaking point for the Chekhov's gift that we've written into this bite? If such a thing comes to mind.
In what sense do you mean breaking point? I mean, I know you've been constantly revealing new features that the thing happens to have that they didn't know about before because you didn't try all the dials and buttons.
Just something that you think would be going a little too far, a little too outside of the willing suspension of disbelief or something like that. I mean, I'm just looking for an example of where a good thing can go too far and not be a good thing anymore. If you can think of an example of that from another series, then by all means, say that instead. Just trying to think of a good example.
That's basically just what I was saying about the Deluminator thing. It's too much of a prediction of too many variables that it just ruins suspension of disbelief. Like, the thing that you've set up is more along the lines of, hey, check out this cool thing, and then it just happens to be useful in a bunch of ways. But they're all in ways that make sense. And they're not necessarily, oh, we needed this thing right now. It's more, oh, we can do this cool thing now. Awesome. Okay, let's start doing that.
So then the function that we revealed at the beginning of Viennese lobby arc at the conclusion of Chapter 39 wouldn't be going too far?
It makes sense. That's the most important part. As a function of what that thing is supposed to be, it makes sense that it would have that function.
Fair enough. It's balancing plot with plausibility. Alright.
Yeah. In fact, I would probably say the Deluminator thing, in that sense, it's actually also kind of bullshit, because it's not just a thing that can turn lights on and off, it's a thing that can turn lights on and off in the direction of something. I don't quite know how that worked, how he managed to find the other two, because lights were turning on and off. Like, why did it lead him directly to them? That never...
Wasn't remotely how it worked, but I don't know. I don't know the exact details of that either.
Plot convenience.
Man, the Illuminator would work great at making a fake haunted house.
Yeah, I could would require a lot of coordination, but probably.
Of course, a fake haunted house would need a lot more than just flickering lights, like evil
Yeah, it would
laughter.
be a good start.
Well, flickering lights just means you have an electrical problem. You should probably just hire someone to take a look at that, check
I
the
mean-
fuse box, whatever.
I mean, that could also work in your new business venture, the Super Simulator, where you could simulate being a real-life super of an apartment complex with faulty things.
I think that's actually already a game.
Outstanding.
It's in early access. It's actually just an asset flip for Unity. Anyway. That was going to be a joke, but I realized like halfway through I had no idea where to go with it. Panicked, tried to think of something, couldn't. Just kind of let it die, sputter out. Anyway. I think we're actually running up on time, so I guess that's it for Chekhov's gift right now.
So, do we have enough time to cover the last topic, or do we just move straight to recommendations?
Recommendation seems like a good shout right now, to be honest with you. I'll chuck the other one in the
List.
yeah, in the list. That's the word that I was looking for.
Casey's
that's
not
how you
good
get-
with words today.
I updated Windows 10 recently and had all of my functions have changed, and I'm still figuring out how to do shit.
Mine did too.
Yeah. It was not great. It was actually like a day before we were recording Dark Souls, and I had a whole rant about it when we first started that recording, which is going to come out sometime next week, probably. Yeah, but basically I updated Windows 10 and then had to update the NVIDIA system. And the Windows 10 update broke that update, so I had to redo everything from scratch right before we were about to record. That was fun. Yeah. Anyway. Thanks, Windows. Thanks, Microsoft. You're fucking awesome. Anyway. Recommendations.
Have I recommended it's called The Implications of Being a Glass Cannon?
I've heard the name. I don't know whether you recommended it or just mentioned it at some point.
I remember hearing that name too. I'm not sure if it was here, though.
Give us a summary.
It's a Ruby gamer crossover, only the character does not follow the canon path of the gamer and go straight wisdom. He goes straight strength. John being the he in this case, because he
naturally.
gets those abilities. Naturally.
Good. Strength is the best stat. Put all your points in there. You don't need anything else at all, ever.
That's his way of thinking. If he hits it hard enough, it can't hit back, because it'll be dead.
If you hit it hard enough, it will die.
So, in essence, his entire goal is to become One Punch Man, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've actually read that one, because I read this like a month ago, that I forget a lot of the other good points, but there were other reasons I was going to recommend this. It's well written, it's interesting. It shines a spotlight on lesser used characters. Like I think Emerald is actually the one who introduces him to this universe's world of the Abyss. It's sort of a modern day fic, but not really. It's kind of confusing. Hopefully it goes into a little more detail later.
All right.
I need to get back to writing my Ruby fic.
Speaking of One Punch Man, the anime Mob Psycho 100 just finished.
I
And
didn't get caught up on that.
That's good.
I'm going to give a really high recommendation for that. Because One Punch Man is the side story that one wrote, but Mob Psycho 100 is his main project, and in terms of writing, it's above Punch Man does. And the central character is... Depth doesn't really describe it accurately, because you can just say anything as depth, but it's a very, very well-told story. All the side characters having meaning and some purpose in the story, and all of them kind of bouncing aspects off of each other. It's very well constructed.
Okay. Patient, do you have anything for us?
I do, actually.
Cool.
This is a Harry Potter fan fiction that I came across quite a ways back. Oddly enough, it was started 10 years ago and only finished a couple of weeks ago. It's a 22 chapter fan fiction called Dear Order. It's not meant to be serious at all. There's no conceivable way that it can mesh with canon. It's basically, the premise is that the Order of the Phoenix is at Grimmauld Place all summer, and Harry is at Privet Drive all summer, and he's bored, so he starts trolling the Order, essentially.
Oh, yeah, I've read this one where he writes a letter to them and says a bunch of crazy stuff.
Basically, yeah. To give an idea, here's the title changes every chapter. The title of the story, basically, it's Dear Order, or 21 Letters to the Order of the Giant Flaming Turkey. Dear Order, or 21 Letters to the Order of the Badly Singed Flamingo. 21 Letters to the Order of the Carefully Crisped Canary. And so on.
Carefully Crisped is a good one. That's nice.
Nice alliteration.
Nice alliteration, and it puts to mind actual, decent food preparation. That's important, to actually take the time to do it with a little bit of delicacy.
Yeah, it's not a long story really, and I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't complete already. But it's very good for a laugh if you're looking for one.
Yep, I agree with that. All right. Mine. Okay.
I'll pull up the link and put it here for you.
Okay. Mine. Okay.
Oh, I know. You're going to recommend My Immortal.
Funny.
Actually, I did a live reading of that.
What? I don't want to know.
You know what? That is some high-quality garbage.
That depends entirely on your ranking system.
As in, it's the best example of all things garbage put into one thing.
All right.
If I was truly shameless, I'd plug something of my own that I just started, but I'm not going to.
Good, don't do that. Let other people on the podcast plug it for you.
No, fuck that noise. This is what you get for not saying thank you when I talked you into it. All right.
No, I believe my reaction was screw you, not thank you.
Basically, yeah. You kept saying that, and that's why I'm not going to fucking... All right. My recommendation is...
I'm leaving an author's note saying screw you in the next chapter. That's what I'm going to do.
Of course you are. You're that kind of person. Anyway.
Right, I'm that petty.
You won't thank me properly. I inspired you.
Continue, you crazy person.
He keeps interrupting me. All right. Return to Zero is my recommendation. Okay. Basically, I forget what it was called. Was it New Game Plus? The Straw Hats are in a situation, they go back in time thing?
Yes, that's New Game Plus.
Yeah. Basically, similar idea. Again, it's Luffy goes back alone, which is, the common interpretation of it. The twist on this one is basically everyone dies except for Luffy, and he gets found by the Revolutionary Army. And they bring him back to health and let him stay with them for a couple of years while they set up something that will let him do it over again. So he can go back in time, start over. So they do that, and they try and get him to join the Revolutionary Army. He basically eventually says no because he's a pirate and he doesn't want to be beholden to anyone. Eventually, Akainu shows up and fucks everything up, but they managed to get him sent back in time. They had already sent someone back in time and basically had Koala be prepared as his I'm going to say as an envoy from the Revolutionary Army, so she becomes part of Luffy's crew from the very beginning. And it's actually pretty decently done. It's not very far in. It's only 5 chapters, and I think the first 2 were all in the Revolutionary Army stuff. But basically, a lot of the time, Koala is given missions for what the Revolutionary Army want them to do. And she very much wants to do them. Luffy is more of a, really, I'm not really that bothered. I'm going to do things my own way. And it's interesting the brewing conflict that is there. That Koala wants to do things for the Revolutionary Army because that's a cause that she believes in. Luffy doesn't necessarily disagree, but, you know, if he doesn't see the benefit in doing what they're asking, then he won't do it. Like, one of the first things that they want him to do is to stop Kobe from being a Marine. Now, since being a Marine is Kobe's dream, Luffy is like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to rob someone of their dream. That's what I'm all about. So
it is kind of his whole thing.
Yeah. So instead of stopping Kobe from being a Marine, he shows Kobe the dark side of Marines and how some of them are corrupt and don't just do things because a higher ranking officer is telling you to. Do things based on your own moral compass. And Koala gets kind of pissed at him for that, because he didn't do what was asked of him by the revolutionaries.
You would think Dragon would see coming the problems with his own son, considering exactly what his reputation was up to that point.
Well, the thing is, only Luffy has gone back and this one other guy that they haven't actually said who it is or anything like that. It's probably not Dragon. Since he was still there right up to the end. And I don't think they actually know that Luffy said no to being a revolutionary, because that was like right at the end of that. So I'm kind of looking forward to where they take that conflict, because I can see it brewing and it seems interesting. Alright. So that's my recommendation.
If we have time for another quick one, I do actually have one I really enjoyed recently, so I have more detail. It's called The Entertainer by Al Aaron, the guy who wrote Professor Arc. And it is, John works in a club, not juniors. That's a very important point there, because Yang still blows that one up. And she goes to a new club, John works there, she gets like a VIP membership thing. And the difference here is that John is a entertainer, a dancer, and he is very good at reading people. Specifically, he's very good at worming his way into their graces, basically. So they tip better, and he makes a living off of it. And so he realizes this, and he's still his canon personality is still mostly intact. He's still a very nice person, so he doesn't want to use people, even though he knows exactly how to do it because of his training. So it really... I keep using this term when I recommend things, but it deconstructs Yang's reaction to him, because she picks up on part of this. Like, she gets an off feeling about him, and he just seems too easygoing with Ruby, who is awkward, to put it lightly. And it's only 2 chapters so far, but it is very entertaining, and I'm really looking forward to more chapters of it.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. I do have one more recommendation to make, but that's only under the assumption that none of you have heard of it yet. It's a pretty popular story. Are you familiar with a Pokemon fanfiction entitled Ashes of the Past?
Oh, yeah. Recommended it.
Yeah, they've talked about it before.
Okay. I figured you would have. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. It's a fic that I would say I still agree with the recommendation that I gave ages ago, and with yours bringing it up now. Only up to a certain point, though. Like, after, I think I'm going to say the Orange Islands, it's kind of pointless. Like, it's a fic that I feel like has gone on too long.
Hey, just like the actual show.
Exactly, actually. It's just kind of going through the motions of stuff's going on, only Ash is more competent and more powerful, basically, because he has legendaries and all that bullshit.
Well, it's starting to warp things more.
A little bit, but it's still not interesting conflicts, unfortunately. Like, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. It's not that big a deal and not particularly interesting, but in fairness, after 2 tournament arcs where Ash won one, I don't know what happened in the second one because I didn't read it. For the third one in Hoenn, they basically have to cancel the entire tournament because an asteroid is about to hit. My understanding, it's like an anime arc thing or possibly a film or something. I think it might have been a Rayquaza film.
It's from Horus, actually.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So, an asteroid's about to hit, and basically the entire world frantically tries to do something about it. And it's all interestingly put together, all the different, methods for slowing it down and stopping it and deflecting it, but it's very bland. Like, at that point, I don't really care because the story has gone on for like almost 1 million words or more than that right now. I haven't actually checked. And it just feels like another... It almost feels like a Team Rocket thing. Team Rocket show up every episode and they get defeated and everything's okay. And then they...
Formulaic, you mean?
Yeah. In the next episode, Team Rocket show up and they get defeated and they go away. It's like that has happened, but for the big conflicts now.
It's just kind of become formulaic. They're not doing anything right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So I still absolutely recommend it for the, up to the Orange Islands at least. If you want to keep reading beyond that, that's absolutely up to you and more power to you. But I just couldn't keep going with it after that.
Alright. Well, I think that's it for my recommendations. I might have more next week.
Okay.
So screw you, Casey. I did give you a very heartfelt thank you, Baka.
When? Oh, in the Skype chat? That doesn't count. That's not public.
Just darn it. I'm not going to break kayfabe.
What you are in the dark.
I want real people to call me God's gift, God damn it.
You're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
It'll
happen.
Yeah, people can't call you that. That's what they already call me.
And there can't be 2 gifts. I mean...
Casey, we need to do a video of that game referencing Kenshi.
I mean, there can be 2 gifts. It's just like I'm like the brand new PlayStation 4 or something, and Casey's just like a box of shirts.
Right, Sam. If the conversation is devolving into this, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off now.
Okay. I don't think it'd work for Kenshi anyway. I mean, the protagonist is basically an off-white colored white person. I mean, you could... I mean, there is a resemblance there. You could say that they designed it based on me, and they just love me that much that they wanted to have a character that looks just like me called God's Gift. It just makes sense.
Right then. Ta-ta, everyone.
See ya.
He actually left.
Yeah.
No, he's serious when he says he's leaving.
Yeah. Obviously, he agrees with me. He agrees with me so hard that he didn't need to hear anymore. Yeah. It's just like I had the final word on it. Thank you everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 147. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments. Please do it on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 147, and for me, God's Gift. Thank you.
Jim Sterling? Suck it up. I don't know why I said suck it up. That wasn't the right response to that. Whatever.
Yeah.
See you, people.
Later.
Bye-bye.